All right, new commander ranking system. Let's just break it down. Everybody's already explained it. So let's just break down what these are, where your decks fit. Ranks are 1, so it's 1 through 5. Rank 1 is Exhibition, 2 is Core, 3 is Upgraded, 4 is Optimized, and 5 is CEDH. Starting at bracket 1, which is Exhibition, this is your ultra casual commander deck, so you don't have any land removal or extra turns, no 2-card infinite combos, no game changers, no to few tutors. So winning is not the primary goal here, as it's more about showing off something unusual you've made. Villains yelling in art, or everything as number 4, oops, all horses, those are all fair game. The games here are likely to go long and end slowly. Just focus on having fun and enjoying what the table brought. So that'll be for very, very casual players. Bracket Core 2, Experience. The easiest reference point is that the average current pre-constructed deck is at a bracket 2 level. While bracket 2 decks may not have every perfect card, they have the potential for big splashy turns, strong engines, and are built in a way that works towards winning the game. While the game is unlikely to end out of nowhere and generally does 9 or more turns, you can expect big swings. The deck usually has some cards that aren't perfect from a gameplay perspective, but are there for flavor reasons or just because they bring a smile to your face. So there's no game changer cards. So there's a list of cards called the game changers. We'll get to those in a minute. No intentional 2 infinite card combos or mass land denial. Extra turn cards should only appear in low quantities, are not intended to be chained or looped, and tutors are sparse. You grab a precon, you put it out. That's a level 2. Bracket 3 is the upgraded stuff. These decks are souped up and ready to play beyond the strength of an average pre-constructed deck. They are full of carefully selected cards, with work having gone into figuring out the best cards for each slot. The games tend to be a little faster as well, ending a turn or 2 sooner than your core bracket 2 decks. This is also where players can begin playing up to 3 cards with the game changers list, amping up the decks further, and of course it doesn't have to have any game-changing cards to be a bracket 3 deck. Many decks are more powerful than a pre-constructed deck even without them. These decks generally do not have any 2-card infinite combos, but can happen cheaply in about the first 6 or so turns of the game, but it's possible the long game could end with 1 being deployed even out of nowhere. Deck building, so up to 3 cards from the game changers list, no intentional early game 2-card infinite combos, extra turns should only appear in low quantities and are not chained, and no mass land destruction. 3 is the new 7. This is the broadest range of decks, I think. You could have your deck, if you put it in Moxfield, it'll tell you it's a 3. You get a friend's deck that's like, that you don't think is a level 3, but it turns out it's a level 3 in there. It's a very, very broad scope. So it says, oh, these are like souped up precon decks, but I have decks that are classified as level 3 in Moxfield that are definitely not 3s in my brain. They're chock full of tutors. They've got lots of card draw engines, lots of synergy. Like, I've put a lot of thought into these decks, and it's classified as a 3. So I think 3 is a very broad, very broad range of what it could be. Bracket 4 is your optimized stuff. It's time to go wild, as they say. Bring out your strongest decks and cards. You can expect to see explosive starts, strong tutors, cheap combos that end games, mass land destruction, or a deck full of cards off the game changers list. This is high-powered commander, and games have potential to end quickly. The focus here is on bringing the best version of the deck you want to play, but not one built around tournament metagame. So it's about shuffling up your strong and fully optimized deck, whatever it may be, and seeing how it fares. For most commander players, these are the highest power commander decks you will ever interact with. Pre-CEDH, I suppose, but I don't know. Like I said, I've looked at Moxfield, and it's having a hard time separating out 4s and 5s. At this point, I'm sure the algorithm will get better. But yeah, going up to bracket 5, which is classified as CEDH. This is high power commander with a very competitive and metagame focused mindset. Mindset is a key part of the description. Much of how it is in your approach in the format and deck building. It's not just no holds barred, but where you play your most powerful cards, like in bracket 4. It requires careful planning. There is care paid into the following and paying attention to a metagame and tournament structure, and no sacrifices are made in building the deck as you try to be the one to win in the pot. Additionally, there are special care and attention paid to behavior and tableside negotiation, such as not making spite plays or concessions that play into the tournament structure. CEDH or competitive commander, and similar names is where winning matters more than self-expression. You may not be playing your favorite cards or commanders, as pet cards are usually replaced with cards that are needed in the meta, but you're playing what you think is the most likely to win. So there's no restrictions at all, other than the ban list. The Game Changers list. So let's dive into that. What is the Game Changers list? So there's a bunch of cards in here. There's a list of cards that change the game. Here's the diagram. So in white, we've got Drannith Magistrate, Enlightened Tutor, Sarah's Sanctum, Smothering Tithe, Trouble in Pairs. Blue is Cyclonic Rift, Expropriate, Force of Will, Fierce Guardianship, Rhystic Study, Thassa's Oracle, Urza, Lord High Artificer, Mystical Tutor, and Jin-Gitaxias, Court Augur. Black has Bolus's Citadel, Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal, Opposition Agent, Turgid, God of Fright, Vampiric Tutor, Ad Nauseam. Red just has Jessica's Will and Underworld Breach. Green has Survival of the Fittest, Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, and Gaia's Cradle. Multicolored shows Kinnan, Bonder, Prodigy, Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, Winota, Joiner of Forces, Grand Arbiter, Augustin the Fourth. And in colorless, we've got Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, The One Ring, Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, Trinisphere, Grim Monolith, Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Diamond, Man of Vault, and Glacial Chasm. So there's all the things that can change the game, which could bump up your ranking unintentionally. So be careful of what you put in nowadays. Now we've got to keep track of what cards are on the list. Hopefully that the banned list sees some of those like get put into that list so that it separates stuff out. So like Dockside Extortionist, I don't know if that'll get unbanned, but I think this would be a good way to unban things and put it in this list to show players, oh, they're playing with something that's different or something higher powered. This is where they're at right now. Hopefully this gets better over time. Check this out. Arcane Fortress is actually your best bet in getting a box for your commander deck. Just look at this. This amazing pink, look at this, go around. You can fit all sorts of cards in there. Snap, close, boom, catch it, awesome. There's also every other color you'd ever need. You got red, you got black, you got green, you got blue. Then you get these deluxe versions with the dice box on the side. Heavy duty magnets. These things are very high quality. I like the extra dice holder. That's just a convenient way to carry around your extra little dice that you can bring to a tournament or to a pre-release or whatever it is. And I like all the little symbols on the fronts of the boxes. And again, just really, really high quality stuff. Make sure you guys help out the channel by using the affiliate link in the description. It's on every single video, so you can click on that, help the channel out, help out Arcane Fortress, and have just a really nice deck box and a nice time playing with them. That is all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the TCGplayer affiliate link down below, as well as the Milkman Proxies link, and I'll catch you guys next week for your weekly dose of magic.